Hey, good morning, my friends, and welcome here to this gorgeous beach on this beautiful Saturday morning. Makes you feel really blessed when you look out there and see this gorgeous Eastern Pacific. Flat calm, no wind down here. You can see Catalina Island perhaps out there in the horizon with those ominous clouds draped over it. It is truly a beautiful morning. We're here in Surfside, California, sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach on this glorious morning, and I don't see anybody up quite this early yet, so maybe I should keep my voice down a little bit. Hey, I don't think it's going to be a problem because people are used to it here. They know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Oh, is that good or what? Man, I'm still kind of on a high after that trip on the Endeavor out of Ventura Harbor sport fishing. The group we had out there, all of you, I know many of you are watching this morning. Thank you so much for being there. New friendships, great times, great crew, outstanding captain, Joe Martinez winning the jackpot again. Joe, man, you are something else. First fish on the boat, big sheep's head, and he wins the jackpot with it. Gotta love Joe. Well, there were all kinds of little stories like that. I'll get into that and a lot more. What happened to the Bluefin tuna bite last night? I'll be covering that with you. Do we have weather on the horizon that's going to make it kind of nasty? I'll be getting into that. Some really good surf fishing. And also, we see some really good rock fishing. Cold water up and down the coast is still what we are looking at. All right, lots of stories to get into. One sad note to start out. A guy that I fished with a lot, Paul Burbank, has passed away. And I want to send my condolences, my love, my thoughts, and my prayers to Paul and his family. We are going to miss him. Paul's the kind of guy that when he came on board the Malahini or whatever other boat he would jump on, he always had a smile. He always had something positive to say. He made the world a better place. He will be sorely missed. And he was truly a great human being. So Paul Burbank has passed away, and very, very sad. He made the world a better place. All right, my friends, let's get into it. We've got a lot to talk about. And first of all, our Apollo trip, May 31st, is sold out now. So that trip, a 2-day trip, I'm really high on that because we need this water to warm up a little bit. I really think that that's part of the problem. We got a lot of 55-degree water still going on here in May. I mean, that is awfully cool. It's much colder than it has been for previous years, which has changed things a little bit. And I think that might be the reason our bluefin tuna are off the bite. But we do have a trip on the Apollo September 8th out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. If you'd like to join us on that one, you can send me a text, 657-227-6459. One-day trip, Apollo, C4 Sport Fishing, September the 8th. Few spots left on that. And then I think we're booked up for the year, although I've left a couple of openings on some of our Amigo trips and some other fall trips that we have to maybe get some new people out with us. I'll let you know about that as we go along. All right, let's talk bluefin tuna. And last night out of San Diego, it was slow. I mean, very slow. And in fact, if I were to get the general consensus of everybody I talked to, it's that these fish have gone somewhere. They've moved because they're just not metering a lot. There were a lot of boats that struck out entirely last night. Maybe some guys had one or two fish. I didn't hear of any big hits. Doesn't mean it didn't occur. I just didn't stumble across it doing my research for the show. So very, very tough fishing on the BFT right now. Does that mean it's over? It does not even close. You know, last year, remember when we were going through that period where we were seeing the fish? Foamer after foamer after foamer that didn't want to bite. Well, perhaps that's going on somewhere, and the guys just have to kind of fan out and find it again. And there's long-range guys here looking for that bluefin tuna. Those guys are really good at what they do. They're going to fan out, and they'll get back on that fish, and hopefully it'll be in a biting mood here really, really soon. In the meantime, a lot of guys down there have been catching those smaller kelp patty yellowtail, most of it 5 to 10 pounds. There's a few bigger ones mixed in with it, but if you find the right kelp, you can get well in a hurry, and there's not a thing wrong with that. We saw the Relentless. He had limits of yellowtail yesterday. Several other boats had a piece of the yellowtail, and then you also had some really tough fishing. Aztec had 80 yellowtail, a bluefin tuna. Polaris Supreme 3-day trip, 12 yellows, 14 bluefin tuna. The San Diego, the full-day boat out of Seaforth yesterday, had 110 bonito and 1 yellowtail. So you can hear the fishing is down. Those bonito, by the way, are nice grade, big fat ones, 5, 10 pounders, prevalent, some bigger than that. So there is at least something to pull on from time to time. But if you're after bluefin tuna, it's been tough right now. And hopefully it's going to get rocking here pretty soon. And again, I could hazard a guess as to what's going on. I mean, principally, they've moved. That's one of the things that's going on right now. But also this cooler water sometimes does not have them in a biting mood. We'll just have to hope that things warm up here pretty soon. We do have some weather on the way. I'll get to that in a moment. You're going to need to know that because our weather is going to blow up on us. I'll get to that toward the end of the report. So that's going to keep water temps cool. And for the most part, we've had a lot of overcast weather. Not this morning, as you can see, but that doesn't give us any solar warming at all. So our water is still cool. We'll just have to see where we go from here. 3 rods, bring something with like 25 to 30 pound fluoro to fly line with, then a 50 to 60 to throw Daiwa Sakanas, 100 to 150 grams, and then a 2-speed 80 to 130 pound outfit. And those Daiwa SK jigs have been super effective, about 200 to 300 grams. Super effective when the fish were biting. I don't want anybody to say, hey, you said it's super effective on what? I know, it's down right now, okay? But it will come roaring back, especially with the expertise that our Southern California fleet has. They are the best at what they do. All right, so down fishing down there. Hopefully things are going to get rocking and rolling again. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you could share the morning briefing with a friend or an enemy, doesn't matter to me. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. So elsewhere, we've been looking at some halibut catches, some sea bass catches. There was a little bit of that going on in the Channel Islands yesterday. I'll work my way geographically up that way. Here on our local areas, there's some really good rock fishing going on. And I'm telling you, I think we take that for granted way too much. They are colorful, they are abundant, they are the best eating fish in the sea, and many boats had a good piece of them. In fact, the Thunderbird yesterday out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach, their total fish count was over 500 fish. And we're talking about a down day. Well, I mean, come on, seriously, 500 fish? That's freaking awesome fishing. The majority of it was rockfish, but they had great fishing on the vermilion rockfish, or vermilions, reds we call them. Incidentally, we've got a short up on how to fillet a vermilion rockfish. Daniel on the Endeavor did a great job on that. They had whitefish, sheepshead, bonita, calico bass, and a partridge in a pear tree. I couldn't resist. So some really good local rock fishing going on. Pursuit had a halibut along with limits of reds, native Sun 3 halibut, good bottom fishing. The Navigante out of Redondo had some halibut and sea bass, good rock fishing. Enterprise, Victory, limits of rockfish, and some of those guys even had sculpin. So there are copious amounts of fish being taken, great eating fish, and if you want to experience that, this is going to be a beautiful day to do it. All right, let me get to the weather, because this afternoon it's going to start to blow up, and Sunday is going to be not all that great. It doesn't look really all that great to me. So we do have weather on the way, and then Monday afternoon into Tuesday. Tuesday looks really nasty. Now, generally speaking, okay, the further north and the further offshore you go, the worse it gets. Well, we're going to have it even down there in the bluefin tuna zone. In some areas, it's going to be nasty. In some other areas, it's going to be breezy. Along the coast, we'll have periods of this and then some wind also. So we're entering into a turbulent kind of weekend after this afternoon. And so I do want you to be aware of that. It's going to get breezy out of the water. Remember, there was a grunion run here last night. I wouldn't know much about it since I was snoring up there, but there was a grunion run. If you saw them, leave a comment, please. And if you want to tell us where, that'd be great, because there's some people who want to go. You got to watch the wind tonight, however, especially if you're bringing small children down here. I really don't like you grunion hunting when it's that nasty. It just gets dangerous. So make sure you are very careful about that. All right, go up to the Channel Islands, and can I just one more time say that we had a great time on the Endeavor out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, and remind you all that kids fish free on board the California, which is the old Matt Walsh on Sundays. That's a great time for you to get out and introduce kids to fishing and have a really good time. And if you're a mom or you're a dad and you have no idea how to fish, that's the perfect rig to jump on board. Rent some tackle, take the kids out, throw yourself at the mercy of the crew, and they'll take really good care of you. So we really had a good time. Now, Aloha Spirit yesterday, 9 halibut and a white sea bass. We keep playing around with those sea bass, man. You know, the Endeavor just the other day had limits of white sea bass. We've seen the Santa Barbara boats, Coral Sea, had limits a few weeks ago. We just keep trying to get that to go. It has yet to get any kind of consistency, but those fish are there. It's just they're ghosts. You know how that goes. Mirage, 10 white sea bass. Joe Villarreal, happy birthday, my friend. Hope you're having a great day. The Great Light, beautiful yacht Sean Stewart has, 9 halibut, 1 white sea bass. So you can see that in between catching copious amounts of rockfish up there, we continue to play around with these sea bass. And talking to Tucker McCombs on board the Endeavor the other day, Tucker is really, really high. Positivity flowing out of his veins about this season's white sea bass bite. He said it just needs to settle down a little bit more, and they should be knocking them dead up there. And that would be no surprise at all, because that place has been central on the sea bass bite for the last several years. And with all that market squid around this year, we had market squid up and down the coast. We still see it, you know, at Catalina Island, San Clemente Island, Santa Barbara Island, up in the Channel Islands, some of the local areas. There's still that market squid, and that is just a magnet that brings predators in. And the fact that China shut down on buying that market squid from a lot of our guys just left all that squid unmolested to do its thing and to have even more predators move in on it. At least in my small mind, that's what I've come up with. So really, really excellent signal on the sea bass. Hopefully that is going to settle and bite here pretty soon. Watch the weather, however. As I mentioned to you this afternoon, it's going to get a little nasty. Defer to the captain of your boat. They know way more, and they'll have more current information than I do, and they'll know about that specific geographical area. So make sure you check on that. So good rock fishing. You know, I skipped over San Diego and Dana Point. I shouldn't have done that, but they had really great rock fishing. The Fury has had go-arounds on those big yellows from time to time at San Clemente Island, but those fish have been biting one day and then not biting the next, so they've lacked consistency. Also, we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. All right, Noli Yan, who's a great member of the Friedman Adventures family, catching those great big barred perch down around Newport. Noli's words, not mine, copious amounts of sand crabs in the Southern California surf. Good morning. How's it going? Nice gentleman walking by me here. So a lot of sand crabs and some big barred perch, as you can see. Noli, way to go. See you on the Amigo May 31st. Can't wait for that. So some pretty good surf perch fishing going on, which doesn't surprise me. Barred perch love colder water. We've got that for you. And some sand crabs make great bait. You can also here in the sand dig up sandworms. You can also fish grubs, and bigger barred perch will bite on the crocodile and the lucky craft. Ask Martin Padilla. When we went down to Playa Saldamondo together, Martin braved that jetty. He walked down, made a cast with a lucky craft, and man, he had one heck of a big barred perch and then caught several others. So they will bite on that for sure. All right, my friends, good to be with you here this morning. If you'd like to jump on that Apollo trip September, better do it quick. We're sold out now on our trip out of 22nd Street Landing, May 31st, a 2-day trip that I think is going to be a really good one. And I can't wait to see all of you on that one. Have a great day. It's a gorgeous Saturday morning, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.